Hello, everyone. This is Tina from Tina's Workshop. I've got my Happy Camper mug and I've got my tea, and I'm ready to sit and chat with you guys today. Today is May 24th. It is Friday. You will be seeing this on Saturday. And it is actually almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I kept procrastinating because I have something that's coming in the mail today that I wanted to show you guys and it hasn't shown up yet. So I finally decided if I wanted to try and get this done while it is quiet in the house, I better do it now. So maybe it'll show up before we're done. I'll double check, but at the moment it's not here. I might just have to wait till next week. So I thought today I would tell you guys a little bit about myself. I know a lot of you out there have known me for a while, but there's a lot of you who haven't. So my name's Tina, hence Tina's Workshop. And workshop because I do so many things. My son actually helped me come up with that name because I mean, a lot of what you see me do is fiber related, but I do a lot of other things besides that. Some things you can see behind me, some things you've seen in other videos, and there's other things floating around here. There's a portrait over here that I drew. There's some, wait, no, that way. That's another thing that I've drawn. But then there's like the needle felting and the crochet and knitting and punch rug, cake decorating, jewelry, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. There's so many things I've done over the years. There's a number of things I've done that I don't still do, but I know how to do it if I wanted to do it. But my passion mostly lies with the fiber arts. But every now and then I decide to do something different. So that's why it is Tina's Workshop. It gives me a broad spectrum of things I can do. So normally, most of the things you will see will be knitting and crocheting and fiber related, spinning, natural dyeing, things like that. But every now and then there might be a video that pops up that is something totally different. I am happily married. I've been married going on 25 years. I've talked about my husband a number of times in um, my different episodes. He recently got into woodworking about the same time I got into spinning and has developed a real passion for it and is really good at it and has I've shown you a lot of the different spindles and things he has made. This one he was working on the other night. It still needs to be fully finished off, but it is like half an ounce. This thing is so lightweight because of the wood that he used, but he does very beautiful work. I have two grown boys in their 20s. My oldest likes to do art. He's a really good artist, drawing, painting. He likes to do that spray paint art. And he's been getting into tattooing. So he is slowly learning how to tattoo, but it's something he's really wanting to do. And my younger son is very into music, guitar mostly, but he also dabbles with just about any instrument you stick in his hands. He has played the trumpet. He has played the violin, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, just to prove to his aunt that he could learn it before she could. He has a keyboard, a couple keyboards in his room. He does a lot with music technology. So he does a lot of things where he's inputting the sounds into the computer and composing things together. And he, every now and then, decides he wants to do something crafty. He did a big puppet the one time. He said something about wanting to do it, and I'm like, oh, we don't have the stuff to do it. So he decided to prove me wrong, got into the different things I had, and he made this really cool puppet. He's only, until recently, only done two small things on the sewing machine, and then recently said, Mom, I want to make a coat. Well, we couldn't find a pattern he liked, so he made his own pattern. He'd never even used a pattern before, but he made his own pattern and spent about a week making this coat. We couldn't find the exact fabric he wanted, so he we found blankets at Target that were the exact fabric and color he was wanting. So he used these blankets, or he used these blankets, and he did test pieces. He did 2.5 test pieces to make sure he had the fit right before he did the final piece. This was the second test piece, but this is in the colors. This was the inside of the blankets, so he used that as the test piece. So it's got these cool beige and blue colors with a blue stripe underneath on the sleeve, and then it's got blue cuffs. And he did on the final one, there's snaps here on the collar because he made a hood that could be removed. He put all kinds of pockets inside, zippered pockets and everything. I mean, it's a great, and let me tell you, is it cozy. So that was really fun watching him do this. Not the neatest person. I mean, there were piles of fabric all over the place, but he did a great job. And he's very happy with the outcome. So that's what matters anyway. I'm looking at my notes if I keep looking off to the side. Let's see. Oh, get over there. Okay, and my youngest is also the one who is my behind the scenes helper on my channel. He's the one who had encouraged me to create my channel, and he taught me how to do all the editing for my videos and everything else. And when I get stuck and I can't figure something out and Google can't help me, then I holler for him and he'll come help me and figure out the different techie things that I need. And sometimes he might look at, Mom, that's not a good thumbnail. You need to change it. Mom, you were talking too much right there. You need to do something different. So he's been my helper with this channel. So it's kind of fun. It's something that we have that we share in common. We also have a love for guitars. There's one of my guitars right there. So that's actually kind of what got him going with guitars was during COVID, and they were signing up for their classes online, and he was trying to pick a class for his electives, and one of the classes that he could sign up for was guitar, and he knew we had a guitar at home, so he could sign up for it. And he did. He signed up for that, and he started playing, and he was enjoying it, but not super into it. Well, the next year they actually got to go back to school, and he ended up signing up for it again. Some of his friends were in the same class, so they were doing it. And by the end of the year, this was his senior year, but he had joined the jazz band, which was outside of class and everything. And he had built his own guitar out of old tools that were my father's for his shop class, but it was a working electric guitar. So he ended up with a real passion for playing the guitar, and that would have never happened without COVID and the fact that I had guitars laying around the house. So it was really cool to see that come out of him, and it's a big part of his life now. So I try to upload twice a week. I upload on Saturday mornings and I upload on Wednesdays. And my Saturday mornings are my weekly podcast that just lets you see what I've been working on the week, just, kind of have a little chat. You can see the different things I'm working on that I haven't done a video on because I do not video everything I do. So the weekly podcast gives you a chance to see things that I'm working on more than just a photo that's posted online or something, and, talk to you about what's going on. My Wednesdays are my project days. So it's might just be something that I was working on, like last week, not this week, but last week, I had done my emotional support chicken, and it was not my pattern, it was somebody else's pattern. So it was not a tutorial. It was just letting you follow along with me and see what had gone into the making of that. Sometimes I do tutorials on something that is my own pattern. And when I do that, in the title, it will say tutorial somewhere in there. So if you're not If you like to see the things I'm doing, but you're not interested in a tutorial because you don't actually do this, then you will know right off the bat. It will say tutorial in the description. Or vice versa, maybe you only want to see the tutorials. But anything that is just following along in a project, there it will not say tutorial. And my weekly podcasts always say episode at the beginning. So sometimes the Wednesdays might even be a field trip. I've gone somewhere to a fiber festival or fiber mill or something else, and it'll be something like that. But it's always more of a one item thing on Wednesday, and on Saturdays, it's what I've been working on for the week. Um, so I spend most of my time lately on YouTube, you know, doing things specifically for YouTube. I try to get shorts out. When I get shorts out, they go up on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and everything. So, you know, kind of a broad spectrum. If I'm just posting pictures, then that's sometimes I'll do it on the community part on YouTube, but that usually goes up on like Instagram or Facebook. And before I started YouTube, I posted a lot more on Instagram and Facebook. Um, Obviously not under Tina's Workshop; it was under another name, but I um, I did a lot more posting that kind of stuff. And it's like I almost feel like I don't have the time, because when I sit down to actually post onto the different things, it's like I'm going, okay, I got to post here, then I need to post there, and then I need to post there. Next thing I know, I've spent an hour or more just posting in the different places. And I don't always get it done because I'm like, oh, I need to get this done and I need to get that done. I don't have the time to spend and do that. But that being said, I do have an Instagram. I do have a TikTok. I have a Facebook page. I have a Facebook group that is small, but we can grow. I do have a Ravelry page that I'm trying to work on getting some of my patterns actually uploaded in there. I finally actually did a project page where I was working on the emotional sport chicken. So that one is um, what I was doing with mine, but it is also tagged to the original pattern designer. And so I'm learning my way around Ravelry and trying to get some more of that done. But I do have all these other places you can find me, and those are linked down below, including my email and snail mail if there's, you know, if you're wanting to contact me in any other way. Um, do make sure and hit like and subscribe and notify if you want to get notified. That really does help me. I do I don't get paid for this. I am not a big enough channel yet to be getting paid. I still need to get quite a few more subscribers and view hours before I can even think about starting to get monetized through YouTube. And I don't even know how much that would be at that point. But that being said, when you click, do all those YouTubey things, it really does help my channel out. So I do this because I love it. I would be doing this even without the YouTube channel. My son had told me, Mom, you do all these things. You need to have a YouTube channel. Share this with people. So that's what I'm doing. I'm sharing what I do with all of you. And this is what I love to do, and I do it all the time. This is my job. Um, I do have things I will make sometimes for orders. I used to make things to sell, and it's any of you that are crafters, you know it's hard to sell your crafts. So now generally I'm either making things as gifts or for myself and my family, or somebody will ask me to do a custom order and then I will do that. But this is what I do, and I love it. I thoroughly enjoy it, but it's not something I'm getting paid to do. So just clicking that like button really helps. And, you know, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. pass my videos along to people who that you think might enjoy them, any of that, it really helps. So let's see. That being said, let's go back to my notes. What else did I have? Oh, that was something I wanted to tell you guys. Along those same lines, it costs a lot to craft. People, if you're not a crafter, you don't realize how much it costs. And people used to say, oh, make it yourself because it's cheaper. That's not true anymore. For example, to make one pair of socks, to get a decent yarn to make that one pair of socks, you're paying anywhere from $12 to $35 for the yarn to make that one pair. So one pair of socks is costing you $12 to $35. My husband says, honey, I'll just go buy you a bag of socks, you know? It's a lot cheaper to go buy the stuff than it is to make it. And because we put so much money and time, takes a lot of time to do that too. And we put so much money and time into it. That's why people darn their stuff, because they want that to last longer. It's taken a lot to do that. So if somebody gives you something that is handmade, don't think they did it because they're being cheap, and make sure you treasure that, because not only have they probably put a lot of money into it, they've put a lot of time into that item they have made for you. So you mean enough to them to have sat and spent that much time on something. I don't generally time myself. Sometimes I'll say, okay, well, it's taken me this many days, but that doesn't mean it's taken 24 hours and 24 hours and 24 hours. You only work a certain amount in a day. But I made a shawl for my mom one time, and I decided for the heck of it to time myself. So every time I started to work, I hit my stopwatch button, and every time I stopped, I turned it off again. By the time I was done, I had put 24 hours into that one shawl I made for her. And if you sit and you think about your minimum wage in your area and what it is, and you multiply that with that, and that's just for the time, not the supplies that have gone into it, just the time. And think about if you were sitting at a regular job and doing it, how much money you would be getting for that amount of time. We would never get that for what we do. And we know that. And that's why there's actually a lot of us out there that don't ever make things to sell. They only do them as gifts or for themselves because they know they can't get what they've put in. So I know I've kind of gone a little bit off with this episode this time, but you know, it's just something to really sit and think about. If somebody makes you something, treasure it. That's what I really got to say. Just treasure it. You mean a lot to them, or they wouldn't have done it. So let's see. This is now getting actually into the regular podcast section of this and the fun stuff and what I have been doing. This is episode number 12. So let's see. Oh, yes. I rewrote my to-do list. I put it on a different paper. This is actually a worksheet by Elise Rose Crochet. And in one of her last videos, I think it might have been her last video, she had put a link to this up, and she did this worksheet that was a stash buster worksheet. And I decided I liked the way it was all laid out and everything. So I have put all my to-dos that I need to work on right on here, and I've been adding to it. And I have only been able to mark one off this week, just one. Then I've used another one for some of my different ideas that I'm wanting to do for videos for you guys. So that's actually got a decent little length there. But these little worksheets. She's got yarn brand, the amount, the pattern, and then hers say hook size, which I wrote in needle or hook size because she is a crochet channel. She does knit, but she's a crochet channel, and I knit and crochet and do all the other things. So yeah, this has not gotten smaller, it has gotten bigger, but I have been working and working very hard this week. If you saw my last video, which would be my Wonderland Yarns video, you saw I had made 3 squares for that. So, but since last week's podcast, I now have a total of 4 squares. So I've got 2 crochet squares. So 2 crochet squares are done, and I have 2 knit squares done. So I need to do, for this month, I need to do 2 more knit squares, and I still have some from months past that I need to complete. And I really think when it's said and done, I'm going to end up redoing the crochet squares because they were just so tight, and even when I stretched them, they really didn't get to where they need to be. So I think I'm going to redo those ones with a larger hook, because see, they're like the same size as the knit squares and they should be bigger. So I think I will end up redoing those, but I did complete those. And another completed item, Henrietta's keeping it warm. She's trying to lay it, I think, or hatch it. She's trying to hatch it. The person who this is for, I know will be watching, and she's going to know it's for her just because of the color, and she specifically asked for red. So I have finished this red fuzzy hat. I think I might have shown you guys the yarn. I'm not sure, but it was a yarn I picked up at the Legacy. So it was, which is our secondhand craft store. Amazing, amazing store. But because I got it there, I could only get the 1 skein. So I was pushing it. I was playing yarn chicken with this hat. When it was said and done and everything was woven in, I had that much yarn left. I mean, I really pushed it. I ended up tearing out the last row like 3 times before I got it to where I could actually match it up. So I changed my stitches along the front of the hat to a half double instead of a double. And then I hold this up a little bit so you can see a little bit right here where it just barely comes up, just to create a little decorative element. And then I put this cute little elephant charm on it because she happens to like elephants. But it will be soft and fuzzy, and it's a little bit of a looser fitting hat. She doesn't like hats that are really tight, neither do I. So it's a little looser fitting, but I think she will love it. I hope so. And so that's all actually completed this week. But I have been working really hard. Like I just said a few minutes ago, I will do custom orders. So I did get a custom order this last week. And I've been working really, really hard to get it done. And I'm hoping that I might finish it today, if not tomorrow, but it's not done yet. Hence a work in progress. So my emotional sport chicken, it was a hit, especially with the kids. I know I'm going to eventually have 2 that I'm doing for 2 kids I know. But at the moment, I have an order for one, and she wanted to have the yellow and brown like I had here, but this was yarn I had spun myself to create that color, and it wasn't something I could just go buy. So what I ended up doing is holding 2 strings together at one time. So I'm using a brown and a yellow. I've got this brown and yellow, and I'm holding it together, and it's doing a pretty good job of having this similar coloring. Actually, it's like really good. So that is going to be the main body, and you can see I've got the tail done, and I am just coming up on the neck here. It is very thick, very dense, because I am holding two together. This is already a thicker yarn than what I used before. And I am using a US size 6 needle, and it's a lot denser, which is really nice. So I shouldn't have any issues with like the polyfill showing through. And then when I started doing the blue, I'm also holding two together because I didn't want it to have this look where you could really tell the difference. And she wanted the main body with this, and then with the blue, and then just a little tiny bit of a green accent. And I've got this variegated yarn that I'm using for that. So what I'm planning to do is when I get to the end of this blue, I'm going to do a thin row of the green, and then there will be a thin row of brown, and then another thin row of green before I start the next blue stripe. So that is right here. So instead of this yellow and brown that's here, it'll be the green, a tiny bit of brown, and the green, and then these brown stripes on this one is blue. So actually I said brown, not brown. The yellow brown mix will be right in the center, but there will be a little stripe of green right here. And then this will be all the same. And I need to ask her what color eyes she wants. I bought a whole bunch of eyes the other day in different colors, so I have lots of colors to choose from. So I will find out what color eyes she wants. And then I still need to do the bottom piece, which will be in this color. Bag that project is in is just a basic bag I had gotten at the store one time with my love of trucks, but it's a really cute bag, and it's just the right size for holding all this. And my little Notions bag that is super cute, that was made by one of the members of my church. So that is in progress. Hopefully we'll get done later. I'm using those cute little charms from Wonderland Yarns that I love. I love the way they clip on. They're just really easy and functional to use. And then let's see. Oh, and I couldn't help myself. I wanted to make sure that my emotional support chickens were legal. So I now can officially take Henrietta to the store with me. She is officially licensed. So I thought it was so cute. So I made a base one up without the name and stuff being filled in. And so the picture can be put in with whichever one I make. And then names and stuff can be put in. And the number, the way I came up with the number, see if you can figure that one out. It's her date of birth. She was finished on May 14th of 2024. So that is her registration number. And then the little QR code links to my video that I did on the emotional support chicken. And of course, then this is for my YouTube page. I just thought it was fun. I looked up what the license looked like and created it off of that. And I just thought it was kind of a little fun add-on detail where it is called an emotional support chicken. Crochet along. My Serdar crochet along. I decided to weave ends in. Look at all these ends I had to weave in. But I thought I better do that now, because if I leave it to later, there's going to be so many to weave in. So I finished off last week's, let's see, go that way. And so I got these next to the rainbow rows on. And then the next two rows, which are going to go on the blue sides, will be like, wait, I turned that wrong way, this way. Okay. The next two sections are this stitch. So there's think like 4 or 5 rows of this tulip stitch, and that's what will be in the next section. I'm about a week behind on this now because I've been trying to get other things done. So the last week's that went up on Wednesday was this stitch, and then there's another one that just came up. So next week, next Wednesday when it comes out, I think might be the last one, which is the border. So I'm at least a week behind, but it's not something I have a deadline on, so I will continue to work on it as I want to. Again, it's the one I keep by my bed, so when I'm laying in bed, it gives me something to do. But there's sometimes where I am really working hard on something like the chicken and I'll take it in with me. Or I get to the room really late and I don't feel like working on anything. I said last week I was wanting to spin the floof. This was the stuff I had gotten up at the Mendocino fiber mill. That is that 100% Tomke wool. And I started spinning on it last night. I was actually going to start the night before, but the little connector on the treadle had broke. So I needed to get a new piece and I didn't have extras laying around. So I wasn't able to get the new piece until yesterday. Let me tell you, if you have that issue, the best place to go is the hardware store. Hold on, I'm going to grab it. So this was the one that broke. It's obviously a bit old. It's gotten really, and then it snapped. So it looks to me like a glue stick. I mean, it's a lot stronger than glue stick, but that's what it looks like. And I decided one day with one of my other wheels, when that had broken, I had decided to see if I could find something locally instead of ordering it, because it takes a while to get it when you order it. And instant gratification. I want to go to the store and get it and keep going. So I went down to one of our local hardware stores, a True Value, which is a couple blocks away from me, and went there to see what I could find, asked them for some help figuring it out. And we finally figured out they have this tubing. You see, it's an actual tube where this is solid, this is a tube. However, the diameters are exactly the same and it's stiff but still flexible, just like this is. It's got about the same amount of flexibility. It might even have slightly less than what this has. And it's 39 cents a foot. So it's really cheap. It's really inexpensive. I used wire cutters last night, some big wire cutters to cut it, but a blade knife, scissors, whatever. I took what I had that I brought home extra, so I have it, and then I just cut it into lengths. So I've got a bunch of it sitting in my little box of repair kit box for my spinning wheels, so that can get replaced really easily. So went and got that yesterday, got it all hooked up so I could finally start spinning. And I've got half of one bobbin done. So this was a 2-ounce bundle, so I have 1 ounce here that'll go on one bobbin, and then this is part of the other ounce, so I've got half of it that I've spun up already. And there's what I've been spinning. So you can see there's so that will get, for those of you who don't know spinning, that's going to get plied with another one, so it'll be twice that thick when it's done. So that's what I got worked up last night. So I still got more to go on that, but it's fun. I like it. I hadn't gotten to spin for a while, so I was really enjoying it. So maybe tonight I will sit and work on it some more, depending on how far I get on the chicken. Because the closer I get to the end, the more I'm going to want to keep working on it till it's done. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how far I get. Let's see. My car socks. They're currently in the car and they have not had anything done to them. So I'm still one sock and one that needs cast on because I haven't had a chance. I haven't had as much time where I was sitting somewhere to do it. And a few times when I have gone somewhere, I've taken the chicken with me because I've been trying to get it done. So car socks have not had anything done. My son's scarf has also not had anything done. So those two are just sitting there feeling lonely and left out this week. But we'll see. Um, maybe by next week. But summer sock camp starts today. So for those knitters out there and crocheters, you may know summer sock camp um, starts today, as in when I am recording this on the 24th of May. It goes through August. I don't know exactly what date, or I can't remember what date, but it's going from today through August. Summer Sock Camp. It is put on by the Crazy Sock Lady. Kay does this and has been doing this for a number of years now, but this is my first year participating in it. It is basically a whole bunch of people that are knitting and crocheting socks and just kind of sharing what you're doing throughout this time. There is a theme by the logo. The logo is like an 80s and 90s theme. So there is a theme going, but you do not have to be in that theme to participate. So anything that you are doing that you have completed during this amount of time, you can do in Summer Sock Camp. You can go on to Instagram, hashtag Summer Sock Camp 2024. She's also on Ravelry. She has a page on Ravelry. And she has a YouTube video, I think she said it was episode 26, that talks more about Summer Sock Camp and what it is and everything. So I will link her below and I will try to link specifically that episode. But if not, I will at least link her and then you can look up episode 26 in her podcast. She's a really fun person to watch. I enjoy watching her every week. Her videos come out on Fridays, the day that I'm recording. So I actually watched her video today before I recorded mine, and she said about summer stock. I was like, oh, that's now. So what I am wanting to cast on my 80s, 90s theme and growing up, 80s, 90s. I graduated from high school in 93, so I spent most of my childhood in the 80s. But I've shown you this before. I recently got from Weird Sisters, and that is the colorway handbook for the recently deceased from the movie Beetlejuice, which was I believe it was early 90s movie. So this is what I want to cast on and make a pair of socks for summer sock camp. So that is my plan. We'll see how far I get, but I am really looking forward to working this up. So that is one of my future things that I'm wanting to work on, hopefully by the time I see you next week. Let's see what. Oh, okay. I got two screens going here, so I was trying to find the mouse, and it was over here, and I needed it over there. Mail. Let's see. Let's start off with my new glasses. If anybody had noticed, a lot of times I have my contacts in. Those of you who've known me for a very long time know that I've been wearing glasses since I was in first grade. And I started wearing contacts in high school because I got teased a lot growing up about my glasses. So first chance I had to be able to wear contacts, I did it. And now my eyesight is so severe. My lenses are really, really thick. And the last number of glasses I have gotten have just hurt too much to wear because they're so heavy. Even getting the thinnest lens I can get, they're so heavy. I had one pair I just couldn't wear at all because I had sores on my nose. The next pair after that, I could wear maybe an hour, and they would hurt so bad. So I would wait until the last minute before going to bed to take them out, take out my contacts and put my glasses on because they just really hurt. The last pair I had wasn't as bad, but after a couple hours, I could feel it. I had a little, there's like literally a dent in my nose from my glasses sitting on them. So it's been miserable. There's times where I'd really like to just wear my glasses. I mean, I'm at that point in my life that if you don't like me because I'm wearing glasses, too bad. But I just have not physically been able to wear them. And I just got a new prescription. He said he got me to almost 20/20 with the glasses in this eye and legal to drive in this eye. And I've got the progressives because when you're correcting my severe nearsightedness, by the time you get the far corrected, I can't see up close. You guys have seen me grab my reading glasses. I can't see. And even when they're off, to see anything up close, I'm like way up here. So I've got the progressives, which help with the computer, helps with the reading, and helps with my distance. And they're really nice. They've actually been working. And I have the lightest lenses I can get. And knock on wood, this is like the third day, I think, in a row I have worn my glasses and not put my contacts in. It's been really nice. And I think they're super cute. You got the blue and then like the tortoise shell. So, and then I got some sunglasses to go over them that have the blue, and then I think they're black, but they fit over. So anyway, I got these. I'm really happy with them. And I thought I would wear them today and let you see. You might see them a bit more because there might be days that I just decide I want to wear my glasses. Let's see, for my birthday and my husband's birthday, our birthdays are 10 days apart. And we've been talking about it for probably at least a year now and researching different ones. And we had finally decided to get a laser cutter. And we did. And it was here right around our birthdays, which is April 9th and his is April 19th. So we've had it for a little while now, and it's been sitting in boxes. So my son and I finally opened up those boxes and got it all put together yesterday. And we got like all the add-ons, the lift and the conveyor and everything for it. And we're waiting on one piece to come in the mail today so that we can properly vent it before we start playing with it. But we finally got that all set up. So that's going to be fun to play with and do some different things. So I might be showing you things from time to time from that. And then I didn't grab that. So hold on. I'm going to go check the door real quick and see if the package has been delivered, but I doubt it. Nope. It'll probably show up as soon as I'm actually done recording. So I was watching Nitty Natty the other day, and in a number of her recent videos, she's traveling the US and going to yarn shops and stuff, but her and her husband are, and they're also going to national parks and monuments and this and that. So they're going on hikes and stuff. And she likes to take her knitting with her, and she'll walk and knit and do all that. And she found the neatest thing that she's been using, and she's mentioned it a time or two, and you see it in her different videos, but she recently did a video, and I'll link her below, and I'll try and link that video. But she did a video and all about the fact that she walks and knits or hikes and stuff, and how she does it, why she does it, and the bag she's using, and other ways of being able to carry your item like she used to before she got this bag. And I'm like, this is wonderful, not only for taking a project on the go, whether you're walking with it or not walking with it, because you could be walking around somewhere and then you stop for lunch or something and you're sitting there like, oh, I want to do something. Well, even if you're just carrying it this way, you have it there with you. But it would also work wonderful for spinning. So I was like, I want this bag. It's a chalk bag for mountain climbers. And I'm like, this is ingenious. I love it when you can find things that are made for something else but work for what you want. So the bag she has, she got at REI, and she can put her cake of yarn into it. Like, for those of you who do not know what a cake is, so a cake of yarn, she can stick that right down into her bag, because then you can center pull. I tend to usually pull this way, but you can center pull, and it's sitting down in the bag. And her bag has enough room, if she's working on, say, socks, there's enough room she can then put her project into there when she's not working on it. And it's like the perfect size, and it goes around your waist, so it's hands-free. Well, she put a link to getting it on Amazon, and it was sold out. So I started looking up other companies' ones, and I found one, and they had a national parks collection. So they had different images on it. I'm like, oh, that's so cute. And it has a little elastic band where you put a chalk brush. I have no idea what a chalk brush is, but you put a chalk brush in it. And I'm like, I could put a spindle in this. I could put fiber in this with a spindle in this and be able to walk around with it, like what I was doing with this. So this I had where I could hook it onto my belt, and then I stick the spindle right down inside of it. Where's one of my spindles? I've got spindles all over the place, but of course, none close at hand. There we go. So I could stick the spindle down into it and carry it like this, which works great. And I've made myself a bag for doing this, and, you know, different things. And so this works great, but this I thought would work even better, because if you don't have a belt, it has its own belt. So I'm like, this would be great. I'm going to get this. And this one has, you know, national parks. I'm going to get the Yosemite one. And so I did. I ordered it. And it's beautiful. And see, and here is that little spot that would be perfect for putting your spindle. And this one might work okay with the fur fiber, but do you see how small this is? It's really tiny. And there is, you might get a tiny cake, but I mean, this is not going in there. And there's definitely not going to be enough room to stick your project in afterwards. I'm like, it's too small. I didn't realize it was going to be so small. But see, they come with a little, the strap, which goes around your belly like this, and then you have this on you, and you could stick that spindle in there, and you stick your project in here, or whatever, your fiber. And it has a fleece, it's got a fleece lining in it, which wouldn't be great for the fiber. It would be okay with the yarn, but for the fiber it wouldn't be great. But my idea there was just make sure your fiber is in like one of these or something, so then it's not going to be, you can just slide that right down into there, and it's not going to be catching. So it's like the greatest thing. I mean, it would work perfect, but this one's just too small. It has, they all have usually at least one pocket, which you could stick keys or your phone or something in. This one's a little small for a phone, but so I ordered a different one online, and I'm going to return this one. And if this one comes and it's too small, then I'm going to give in and drive down to REI and see if I can find the one that she had that I know would actually work. But I'm hoping that this one will work. And that's what I was hoping was going to be outside, because it's supposed to be delivered today. And I thought, well, I'll show you both of them and we can compare them together, but it's not here yet. So the one that is coming is black with kind of some little white lines on it, like a trail map. And it has, I think it has a pocket on the front and the back. And then it has the little elastic band. And then these also have, so that you can make sure that, I mean, for them to keep their chalk in and it doesn't fall out while they're climbing up the hill. But if you have a project in there, then you can cinch it down. But that is my new thing that I don't have yet. So uh, I will show you that next week and show you how it works. But I think that would be fun because, like, sometimes we go to San Francisco for the day, and we just go wandering around. And even if I'm not walking and working, which you never know with me, I might, but even if I'm not walking and working, I could put that on. And then when we stop somewhere for a while, I can work with it. When I go to the fiber festivals, like Lambtown in October, or even when I'm volunteering at the fair or ag days or something, I could put it on with my spindle and my fiber and walk around and spin. And when I need to set it down, I can just drop the spindle into here and go about what I'm doing. So I think that'll be a really neat thing. And I just hope the one coming will be the right size. And if not, like I said, I'm going to REI. I might go tonight. If it's not the right size, we'll see. Okay, I know this has been a long episode, but so on my last video, my Wonderland Yarns video, I had a comment. About the hat that I shared with you guys, and that I had not shared my other hats with you because I have photos of them, and I should have at least shared the photos with you. So if you did not see that video, this is a hat I made about 2 years ago. Alice in Wonderland Tuggly Woods theme. So you got the sparkle night sky in the hat, Mad Hatter style, and then the Tugglywood creatures. The only one who's technically not a Tugglywood is the bread and butterfly, but it looks really cute sitting there. Then you got the little broom-headed dog that sweeps away the tracks, and the mole rat, little pencil-headed bird, the horn, I don't really know what it would be called, horn something, hammer-headed bird, the glasses that she sticks on, or doesn't actually realize she's stuck on until she looks in the mirror. And then I put a little Funko Pop of Alice there and some little pins that I had that I added to it. I created my own patterns and I've written them out for everything on here. The only one I had an image of ahead of time was I had seen some that people had done of the mole rats. No, I think I may have seen one that somebody did on the bread and butterfly too, but I didn't have the patterns. So I did them, and I did then created all the other ones and my hat pattern. So this was done specifically because we were doing a Clued Up game that was an Alice in Wonderland theme, and they encourage you to come in costume. So I had decided to do the hat. I did a number of years ago, my son had a Mad Hatter tea party for his birthday, and that one's way up there and I couldn't reach it, but I had made a hat for him that looked like the Mad Hatter hat that was not crocheted. I was really trying to go for the exact look. But we were looking at this kind of Mad Hatter theme, but doing different things with the crochet, and my sister-in-law and I who were both crocheters, were, conspiring what all we were going to do and what we were going to be, and then getting our group together. And so she ended up doing, and I'm going to stick pictures in of all these different things as I'm talking about them. So she ended up doing a Queen of Hearts was hers, and she did the hat that was all Queen of Hearts, and then had her costume that went with it, and added different elements in. And I love the little diamond guy that's sitting in the back part of the hat. So she did a great job. We still have this hat. She wanted to get rid of it and I wouldn't let her. And then I did a Tweedledee Tweedledum hat, which was going to be worn by another person who was coming, who ended up not being able to come at the last minute. So we still worked this hat into our costume, which you will see in a minute. even though that person was not there. But this was just a fun little hat. I had honestly had done it to do it, and then we're like, oh, hey, if you're going to come with us, you can be this. You don't have to come up with your own idea. And then I did a white rabbit costume with the pocket watch. So I did the same Mad Hatter style hat, but with the big fuzzy yarn and the pocket watch. And the person who was going to wear that also ended up not being able to come at the last minute. But that hat she already had, so it was not, we did not carry that one with us. And then for those of you who do not know the White Queen, this is the White Queen from the original book and from the movie with Carol Channing and Sammy Davis Jr. and a whole bunch of other people, and it was an amazing movie. So I decided to try and recreate that hat for one of the other people that was coming, and this is what I did for her, and I think it came out really cute. I love how it came out. And then we had one other friend who did her own, and she was a Cheshire Cat. So here was the 4 of us that ended up there. It was supposed to be 6, but this was the 4 of us. And if you look down in the little scooter basket, we have the Tweedledee Tweedledum character who has been beheaded by the Red Queen, who decided to off with his head. And I had found a cute Alice in Wonderland shirt that actually had the Tuglywood creatures on it. The Mad Hatter mini backpack is Loungefly, and the other little bag with the March hare on it, that one I actually painted myself. And then we have another, the White Queen is holding a little white rabbit to also put in the fact that our white rabbit was not there. And that was actually put together by one of our cousins' mom. She had done that a long time ago for a party. So that was our little get up, and we did win for the best costumes. I really think it was because of our stuff being so handmade, because there were some really good costumes there, but having all of our hats crocheted and stuff, I think that gave us a little bonus there. So that is my hats from back then. So yes, the person who made a comment is related to me, so she knew I had pictures of all of them because she had seen pictures of all of them. But I was thinking that maybe if you guys like seeing some of these things that I have done in the past, drop a comment below and let me know, and I might incorporate that into future podcasts and just here and there stick an item in that's something I've done in the past and share it with you, because I've got quite a few around here, but I take pictures of everything I make, so I have all that too. Let me see if I had anything else on my notes. I think that was it. Again, like I said, this one has been a little bit long, and I apologize. I hope you have actually stuck with me through my video and have enjoyed it. And I will continue to work on that chicken. So that should be done, hopefully today or tomorrow, but definitely should be done by next week. And maybe I will even have these socks cast on. We will see. Hopefully I will have my skein done of that. Oh, not fiber related, but look at the cute little purse I got the other day at a local game shop we have. Looks like a little book. Willy Wonka. Isn't that cute? Anyway, so I've got lots of projects to be working on this week, and I still need to get my video recorded for Wednesday. So I've got a lot of work to do. So I'll see you guys all again soon. Bye.